while I was still speaking in prayer, extremely exhausted, the man Gabriel, whom I have seen in vision earlier on, came to me about the time of the evening sacrifice and instructed me, and he talked with me, and he said, "Oh, Daniel, I have now come to give you insight, skill, wisdom, and understanding." That's how my own translation put it. King James said, "I've come to give you skill and understanding." This one said, "I've come to give you insight, skill, wisdom, and understanding." And he went on to explain some prophetic things to the great man of prayer, the intercessor Daniel. So I'm going to come from the angle of the things we have learned over the years. Over the years. I'm actually going to take us a little behind memory line and remind us and use it to encourage and strengthen us. I want to start by making the first statement. I have about 7 of them. I want us to know that the work we're doing in prayer, in intercession, matters a great deal. Let all of us be encouraged. Let all of us be strengthened. This is our 55th conference, just only in Nigeria. When you are engaged in a project and it lasts this long, there is a tendency after a while for people to start growing weak, getting tired. And if there are 1 or 2 situations where you think that the prayer did not get answered the way you prayed it, sometimes human hearts can get discouraged. But I will say something, as somebody who observes this movement from inside and from outside. I have 2 positions. The reason I say from outside is because I deal with the young people a lot. We are the ones that launched the National Youth Movement of Nigeria, which hit every nook and corner of this country. Even that project, because I represent another generation, I'm not part of that generation, I'm a bridge. Because when we started that program, we were young. When I turned 55, there are some things I would say my daughter would tell me, "Daddy, it's not exactly like you said it." She would bring me statistics and give me. And I began to understand that I'm beginning to lose touch with these young people. The ones we went out to reach when we started the project have grown with us. So if you watch every movement, this particular movement, when it was initially born, in the days of Paerty, when Daddy and Engineer Steve and the rest of our elders were young people on the campuses, it started with young people. But you can see that those young people, both teenagers, people in their 20s, are now fathers. And there has been another generation that followed. And there is now another generation that are young adults. And there's another generation that is coming up after them. We have to take the same message, take the same movement, but pass it in the language that these other younger ones will understand. You don't change the message, you don't change the principles, but each generation speaks a little different language. So I work with Daddy a lot on different platforms, but there is something I do. There are some things he will be teaching it. It's very clear to me. When he started coming to reach our churches and networks, when he finishes, the pastors will call me and say, "What is he saying?" He said, "We are not getting what he's saying." And it's very true. I won't tell him that part. My job is because what he's saying is very clear to me. I'm getting it direct. And all of them will see me writing. I will write. They will ask me, "DP, what are you writing?" Because I came into the movement. Professor Bukalo conscripted me while I was in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So I have grown, I understand the language. But there is another generation coming after us, they don't understand the language. That's why you're not seeing many of them here. We need a step down between you people, our fathers, and them. They don't understand this language you're speaking. The problem is not the message, the problem is the language. The language keeps changing. There is what is called generational transition. And that challenge now is not with our fathers. They are supposed to speak the way they heard it from heaven. The challenge now is with people like my brother Apostle Victor, brother Ihani, you, Fidel, and the rest of you that are from 40 and below. Like when I walked in, I saw what the drummer, he was just making noise. That is not praise and worship. That's just noise making. I kept quiet. You're not going to reach your own people if that's what you're doing. Because the opposite, what they are giving them in the world, is music that is almost as sweet as the one they sing in heaven. Worship is the best music in the whole world. You come, you are making noise, say you are doing praise and worship. So when I finished greeting Daddy, I came back a second time, I sat beside, tell that drummer to stop that nonsense. It's distracting people from worshiping. And I look around, I saw many of you, you are not worshiping. You are just looking. When real worship starts, it pulls you into the prophetic realm. It is there we hear from God. That thing God told Moses, you come to the mercy seat. There I will speak with you. Worship is different from praise. There should be praise session at the beginning. But this is a prayer and a prophetic movement. No other group should be able to have access to the third dimension of God, the Holy of Holies. It should be a place that we not only hear from speakers, people hear from God. You leave these people, they will rob us of 70% of the benefit of the conference. It will keep you in the flesh, make noise when they finish. I control them like no other group. You see, when Lucifer fell from heaven, he fell into the choir seat. Because that's what he used to do there. So he fell there. You can see what he has done with music in the world. The corruption. And I have learned that this group, if you get 3 offices right, the psalmist, the intercessors, and those who preach the word, you can get the move of God right. So when God sits in heaven, apart from the 24 elders that sit around him, and all of them are worshipers, and all of them are intercessors. When he was teaching me these things, there's something he said. He said, you can't have anybody close to me in heaven who is not a worshiper and who is not an intercessor. He said, do you know the angels that hang around the throne, the cherubims? They worship 24 hours. Do you know about the seraphims? I say, yes, sir. He said, they worship 24 hours. Do you know about the 24 elders? I say, yes, sir. He said, you read how they're always bowing, throwing their crowns before me. So he said, do you know about my son? When I promoted him from preaching ministry on earth, what was that office I promoted him to? I said, he became a high priest. He said, so what does that office entail? What does he do there as a high priest? If preaching is the most important job, I would have left him on earth now, at least till the age of 80. As the Son of God, he can even live 1,000 years. But when we said, end this one, delegate it, let your apostles come to something higher. What was that thing that is higher than preaching? He became a high priest, so he can become our intercessor. So the Lord told me, he said, everybody around my throne Because there are other ministries you can do in the outer court. But the Holy of Holies ministry is the highest in the kingdom. And I'm saying all this to know what we are doing matters. Let me even tell you, I do a lot of city projects. I do a lot of crusades. I do projects for the young people. Before we undertake any major project, we come to Daddy's house. We'll sit down with him, ask for counsel, and then a prayer meeting results in it, out of it. It is usually in those prayer meetings the blueprint falls. And then people will see me in different nations executing. Let me give an example. I have been to many countries this year. We hold a program we call camp meeting every April during Easter. From that, the end of that meeting, we start our global mission project, nation after nation. Every nation I enter this year, the first scripture, the first thing I read for them is Psalm 18. The 7 different names David calls God. Do you know where that one dropped from? During Mommy Remi's birthday. I think it was during the time he was called up to pray for you. All of a sudden, that one. But there is a way I listen to these things. I don't just hear them as sermons. I don't just listen to them as messages. They come to me as strategies. Do you know what we do? Once we enter, whether the praise and worship people did well or not, I'll read it for the people. I say, these are the 12 ways David has personalized worship. These are the 12 names that reflect what God is to him. So I ask them, what is God to you? What does he mean to you? Everybody lift up your hands, call him whatever it is. David will say, he is my high tower, he is my hiding place, he is my rock, he is my salvation. What is it to you? The people will start, the power of the Holy Spirit will fall. And the meeting shifts into another dimension, and that's how we start. Every nation I went to this 2025. I have 3 countries to finish the year. They come to me as strategies. When we want to do crusades, like this November ending, we're going to be in Abuja, and that's the largest stadium in this country. I work in partnership with our intercessors. We have never done any of these crusades. Even this one that is coming up in November. Long before that time, people will be praying everywhere. Brother Hani starts leading major prayer projects. He'll be working with our own pastors, our own people. Then we bring in church leaders from different churches, and he starts leading it. And by the time we are getting to the start, 40 days to the event, the thing escalates to another level. By the time we walk into the stadium, usually we ask Daddy to pray openly. Whatever that is left, he just prays and that thing is cleared. I remember one stadium we went to. When we got there, the moment we walked in, all the equipment's burnt. And crusade is just about to start. Human beings are everywhere. So, our people are running up and down. They are trying to hire new equipment, We were in the waiting room of the stadium, waiting to be called up so that this meeting can start. And time was going. Before I knew it, 1 hour had gone. I just went to Daddy. I said, just say something. He gets up. He roars every time he has done it. All the forces that were there left to other villages. They left town. They left to other states. Equipment came back alive. Crusade. I don't understand how it has happened. I don't understand. The fathers may be aging, The body is what is aging, not the spirit. The Bible says, why the outward man grows old, the inward man is renewed day by day. We might not subject them to the too much exertion. They did a lot of it when they were young. That's why when I want to encourage daddy, I said, this your car has taken more heat. What other cars do in 20 years and they are broken down? God has been able to keep you. You have done it for how many years? And the vehicle is still fine. So when the vehicle needs service, let's take it to mechanic for service. That's what you do when you go to doctor. Service the car. But the truth is that this vehicle has served. God has been faithful. He will tell me stories of driving from Ife to Meduguri. Who does that? Driving from here to Ghana because of one outreach. Who does that? They took all kinds of risk, did all kinds of things. Some of the trips with Pa Elton, he said, Pa Elton, once he's on the steering, Pa Elton can slip off. I don't know all the story of all our elders. I'm